Well, peeps, it's Hillbilly Halfwit. How are you today? And listen to my sheep in the background. They can hear me. Anyway, what we talk about today is Trump. Trump has absolutely and totally, as like a bomb has gone off in all of the Western world. He's totally took him. I don't know what on earth to do. He took against Starmer and his government like you wouldn't believe, and it's probably going to hurt us all. I think he's going to end up screwing Starmer, and he's going to have to go, because I was watching last night, and he was going to put trade tariffs on all European countries that don't agree to this and that, and oh my God. Well, like I say, I always say the truth, and it's probably not going to be the best thing for farming in Wales if he does that. So in the UK, with the tariffs and things. So, but well, if you look at the whole round of things, the things he's done, because I'm trying to look at the whole thing, is very good indeed. So he's obviously closed his borders and put all that through, but he's also made a thing in the USA that will probably end up coming to here. And we'll see if the UK is basically attached to the USA, won't we now? Because they do reckon we were, was it the 54th state or something like that we were actually being run by America. So it's interesting to see now, because he stopped all these gender things. The civil service are having an absolute thwacking over there. He's putting Musk in charge of that, where they're going to try and deal with all that waste. There's too many for me even to talk about. They're in absolute shock. He's given all them January the 6th rioters amnesties, and oh my God, they're going bonkers. But like I said, it'd be interesting to see if those ideas come over here. Hopefully they do. And I've said to you before, I think he's a cracking businessman, but he isn't slightly all there. He's obviously a hell of a character, and I think he plays up to it. And I think he makes the press, he winds them up, and he gives them this false impression that he's a bit of a dippy one, and he's sharper than they think. Because the way he was talking yesterday about, if they don't do this, we'll put 100% tariffs on this country and that country, they were shitting themselves. Absolutely shitting themselves, and the press didn't know what to do. They did not know what to do. He said with TikTok, he said, yeah, I'm granting him 100 days. I'm not on it. Well, I did go on it, but I don't post on there. He's going to give him 100 days amnesty, and he said he's going to talk to the Chinese about it. I think it was the Chinese. And he's in an offer of a deal where the USA takes half ownership of it, of TikTok, and he lets them carry on in the USA. If they don't, he's going to ban it. There's some dealing for you. There is dealing. And he said then for all the European countries, he said he's going to put tariffs on all the European countries unless they buy our fuel. Well, the UK are already buying our fuel, because this green agenda we got, all the fuel we're buying now is from fracking in the USA. And that is fact, all the gas. So it's a big green sham, really. They're pretending that we're green, and we're just getting frack gas from the USA at more money than we could do it ourselves, the tossers. But, I got to say, it's going to be interesting, because he gave a bigger press conference last night than Biden's given in the whole time he's been in the office. But there's one interesting thing I noticed. I didn't watch all of it because it isn't my thing. I watched a little bit of the highlights. Did you notice that Biden, he didn't seem that bad against Trump? Now, I noticed this, the day before when he was with him. He seems like he's realised that when he was in power, he was being pushed around. he's obviously not all there, but I sensed that he was a bit more against his own side. Is that just me thinking about this? I don't know. He looked, Kamala Harris, and that looked a lot more upset than he was. And I think he was sort of getting back at Kamala Harris for stabbing him in the back. And also a weird thing as well. They were asking President Trump, because he was signing these executive orders. There was a big pile of them like this. And I was looking at him. I was listening to that bit. It was about 10 minutes this morning. And he was going through everything. He was going to ransack everything in the civil service. And the borders and all this and all that. And they asked him then, what presidents do you think have been was it pretty good, or I would take advice from? And what he did say, which surprised me, he said, I think Hillary Clinton should have listened to her husband, Bill Clinton, because when he was in power, he was looking after the Republican states, and he was better than her. Sorry, he was better when he was a president, and if she'd have listened to him, she'd have probably got in. So that makes you think, doesn't it? So he obviously, like I said, I remember Clinton in power. He wasn't that bad. I'm not going to lie. I can pretend that he was, but he wasn't. He was. He did a lot of dodgy things, and he was always messing around with women, and from what I understand about it, his missus actually knew that. I remember seeing some documentaries where she had actually basically manufactured their relationship so she could, because she was really into politics, and get married to a person that was going to be the president, because she's a real evil bitch, really evil. He's obviously got a past with women, the real womanizer, like they all have. And this Epstein Island thing and all that, they're all at it. You know, if you find a person who hasn't been messing around like that, you're somebody else. But anyway, I just quite liked the way the civil service are sort of in shock about it all. That's what I liked. I wish the same thing happened here. There's going to be uproar in the UK. Absolute uproar. With this gender recognition thing, he signed that out straight away. He said there's only two genders. That's that. None of that being taught in schools. So hopefully that'll come over here. So like I said, we'll see if we are part of the USA or we are generally a UK country on our own. But interesting times ahead. Very interesting times ahead. So like I said, I don't mind the guy, but I do think the current leadership in the UK now and him are not going to get on. And either they're going to end up having a big row and will be worse off, or maybe an early election. You never know. Because he likes Farage. If he could help him out, he will help him out. So, very interesting times ahead. Please subscribe. All the best. Guys.